what is up, Crockxen clan members, Elysian League fans, and others who will see the video. I am SoresanCrockxen, and I am here today with my good friend Joey
Yo, yo, yo.
and the fabulous Swishy.
Oh, thank you. Fabulous. Hi.
And we are here to do the post-match analysis for Week 5. Oh my gosh, the destruction this week is so real. Alright, so we're going to start off with Team Magma like we usually do. 4 matches, 2 conferences, so that's a total of 8 matches we're going to talk about today. And then we're going to talk about where these people deserve to be on the power rankings. The first match we have here is Zen versus Doruk. Joey, explain to us how this match went on.
So, Zen versus Doruk looked like a pretty open and shut kind of match that, Doruk was kind of flying pretty high. He only had one loss up to this point. It was a close 1-0. And then it was to Cubchu, who's been pretty good. And then all of a sudden, Zen came out of nowhere and just 5-0 sweep. And, for his, I think it's his second battle in the league. And
Yeah,
Zen
it
has
is.
proven that Zen has proven that he's not a pushover, and that the special Entei really did throw him off his game.
Alright, Swishy, what about you?
I am actually very surprised with this battle because of the fact that, Dork knows how to set up hazards. And I honestly thought the hazards would be like the end of Zen, but the fact that he was able to push through that and actually beat Doruk, and none of it just beat, but 5-0, one of the best players in the league, is actually really surprising and shows how good Zen is and that he's really not here to be pushed around.
Yeah, for me, I came into the match a little bit later, after it had started, and all I saw was Zen having 5 Pokemon left and Doruk had 3, and I was blown away. I was like, this is not happening right now. Because, obviously, a lot of us, like Joey said, this was pretty much Doruk's win. Honestly, we didn't want to take any credit away from Zen, but everybody saw Doruk taking this match. And so for Zen to come out of left field and just pretty much destroy Doruk is a statement. It sets him apart from all the other new guys. I'm not here to mess around. I came to win. So it definitely, because Zen won, it actually shook up the entire Team Magma conference because of that win. I don't know, Joey, where do you see these people moving in the power rankings?
Well, Zen is definitely going to be higher than where he was previously at, that's for sure. He was pretty far down in the power rankings with that loss, being that it was his only game so far. But, he's going to have to move up, because he was, 14th, and then he beat the number 3 guy, so, top 10, probably, I would have to imagine.
What about Doruk?
I think Doruk this time is actually going to fall pretty far. Probably to somewhere between 7 to 10. Because this loss is, I think, worse than the 1-0. Just because, the 1-0, he was in it, and he just kind of fell short at the end. Where this one, he was just severely outplayed, and I think it was just one of his off weeks, and he's going to have to bounce back now because he is in a really tough playoff race.
What about you, Swishy?
Well, Zen definitely needs to be, brought up. I think top 10 for that game, because he just beat someone that is one of the best, and by far, a 5-0 is something that you don't really see too often, because most of the time the games are really good and brought to 3-0, 2-0, or sometimes even 1-0. But to 5-0 one of the best people in the league, that's really impressive, especially when no one believed he could. So
Yeah.
I think he definitely deserves top 10. And Doruk, this was such a bad loss that it probably is going to knock him down pretty far. I don't know if I could say 7 to 10, but it's going to knock him down by a lot because of how bad that loss was. I mean, it's like he didn't even like have a chance. He was so he just lost it completely, and I feel kind of bad that he's actually gonna need to go down that far when he was one of the best.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Like, I definitely think Zen would definitely move up. I think ninth place would probably be like the best for him right now. As for Doruk, I mean, I would put him below Zen after this loss, just because of how large of a gap between both of them in the previous power rankings is. I definitely think Zen should be above Doruk at this point. So, like, maybe 9th for Zen and 10th for Doruk. That's just me, though. Alright, so let's move on to Jay and Zach. Swishy, talk to us.
Well, Jay and Zach was another battle that we all pretty much mostly thought that Zach had it because of how well balanced his team is, and Zach did beat him, and that's kind of what was expected because Zach has such a well balanced team and a well balanced like battle style and everything, so it wasn't too big a surprise. But Jay did Jay did give Zach a really good scare, so I don't think Jay should be like knocked down too bad for this, and Zach I think should either go up or stay where he is, because he's definitely top 5 material, and he just proved it by winning again. So I think Zach should either be like 4th, maybe even 3rd, depending on who did better than him. And Jay, I don't think he should be knocked down too much for this, but I don't know if he deserves 8th either.
Okay. Joey?
Yeah, the way I saw it, I mean, I think just from the team preview, Zach was a little, I think the prep was the same. I just think the the Mons brought, favored Zach, and I think he did well there. And I think right now, considering all the other movements in the league, that he's going to get a rise, and I think almost number 2, maybe even, considering how everything else went this week.
Okay.
And his only loss so far really is to the number 1 seed. So, you can hold that against him a little as to why he's not top of the league. But I mean, for number 2, there's not much holding him back on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me personally, like Jay and Zach were pretty much almost even in terms of power rankings last week. If I remember correctly, it was Zach in 4th and Jay in 6th. So
actually, it was Zach in 5th and Jay in 8th.
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay, yeah. Oh, never mind. Okay. Well, I mean, it was definitely a tough match. But it kind of helped solidify Zach as, because like this match. Oh no, they were even in the magma rankings. That's what it was. They were one. Okay, never mind. I made the mistake. But anyway, so like they're pretty much even. This helps solidify the magma conference in terms of those two, because they were pretty much tied. So moving Zach above Jay makes perfect sense now, even more now, and I do think he should break into the top 3 at least, just because of how phenomenal he's been doing this season. And Jay, I mean, like I said, they were pretty much together in the magma conference itself, and like the power rankings, I feel like because of the shakeup that happened this week, I do think that Jay should, if he might move up, I think by 1. Or stay the same. I did not actually see him going down. Just because it was the way the match was, he definitely showed that he can be innovative. I mean, Leiron and Dev were sturdy. Like, I didn't see that coming. Zach didn't see that coming. That's why he kind of lost his Scizor. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say is that Scizor became useless because of that move. So I honestly gotta say, I mean, Jay played his heart out. He definitely. We all knew it was gonna be an uphill battle, but I don't think he should drop. I think he should either stay where he was or move up 1 because of what happened in the rest of the matches.
What I'll say is that I think Jay will probably just stay, just considering how everything else happened. But the Magma Conference is probably far from set. I think everyone in there still has either a shot or an outside shot at making the playoffs.
I was just talking about those two.
Yeah, I mean, as far as, 4 weeks to go and no one has been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs at all, or theoretically eliminated, just kind of, it shows that the Magma Conference is still wide open, but I think this win definitely helps seal up Zach as someone who will be in the playoffs, and I think it just means, who are the other two going to be in there, and that's kind of wide open right now.
Yep. Alright, and then we have Kraft versus Steven. Joey, what do you think of this match?
I thought Hax played a small role, but it definitely affected it a little bit. I think maybe not a 4-0, maybe a 2-0 or 3-0 win. But, I mean, I know Kraft would have probably had answers had it come down to it, just based off of his team building record. But, I mean, Steve I think he's new to the draft league format, so it's going to be hard to see, how he's going to adapt. But he will have a chance to change around his team next week and try and get a little bit better there. Try to get in some of the Pokemon he wants to use. But I see this as a nice win for Kraft, a nice bounce back on his feet after a tough loss last week. So, it keeps him back in the playoff race, and he still has 4 more weeks to go and try and solidify that playoff spot.
Okay. What about you, Swishy?
Definitely Hacks were something that affected the battle, but like Joey said, this is probably something that Kraft could have done. I feel like though that the Hacks did kind of make it a little bit unfair, but it wasn't such a major thing that was like basically unplayable for Steven, and Kraft basically swept everything. That's not how it worked. It was just in a way that made a certain situations during the battle kind of unfair. But knowing Kraft, he probably would have taken this win anyway, knowing how well of a team builder he is. He probably would have had something built for the Pokemon that Steven had set up. And I guess it is just the way it is, and Kraft did get this win, so he probably is going to bounce up a little bit from where he is. I don't know where exactly is he right now. I think he is...
I think he was 9.
9th? Yeah, he's 9. I think he's going to go up. Not too much, though, because, like I said, I think without the Hacks, it probably would have been like a 2-0 or something. But he's probably just going to go up by like 1 or 2. That's how I see it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, since Frank is new, obviously he just came in this week. This was his first battle. It was gonna be tough, and like Sushi said, this wasn't even his team. He didn't even make this team. So hopefully, like
you mean Steven? You said Frank.
Steven. Oh my gosh, all these new guys. No, but just kidding. So Steven. But yeah, so this isn't his team, and hopefully during the bye week he'll be able to make some changes that will greatly benefit him in the future. I said last week that for some of these newer players that honestly this should just be matches of differential. Just try to lower the differential as much as possible so that you can just live by for next week. And this was kind of what this battle was supposed to be. I mean, I don't think there was even though Hacks did play a major part, I don't think anybody doubted Kraft winning this match. Besides obviously like Agron, who's like best friends with Steven, but like realistically speaking, a lot of the other players thought that Kraft had this one in the bag, which is unfortunate. Hopefully Steven will be able to show us off in the upcoming weeks that he is a good team builder, that he is a good battler, and he can bring in some interesting stuff. But yeah, so like I do think Kraft will go up, but I don't think by maybe 1 spot if anything, because like Steven is new, but the team he took over was pretty much dead last, and then a loss this week doesn't really help. either one's case. So I honestly do think that if Kraft moves up, it'll only go up by 1 at most. But that's just me. Now, Nakrin versus Cupchew, match of the week. Totally best match ever. I think Joey can agree too. Best match.
Oh, by far.
All right, guys. So enough of the bullshit. So it's sorry, but McQueen ended up having to drop out of the league. He had some personal issues. We honestly, I will flat out say right now, you can't. Participating in 2 leagues is not something that everybody can do. It's not something that you should try to do because it's just too much to handle. There's too many teams in this league, and I'm assuming in the other league too, that for you to prepare for, and having to just team build twice with 2 separate teams for 2 separate opponents is just not. It's too much for a lot of people to handle. So McQueen ended up having to drop, which I feel bad kind of for Cupchew because he was ready to go, man. He was so mad that he didn't get to play last week. I don't know, Swish, you wanted to say something?
I just said I know, I feel so bad.
So, obviously, he gets a forfeit win, 3-0. I mean, obviously it's not going to help him in the long run because it's just another forfeit win. Like, this is the second one in a row. So I think he's just going to stay where he was, and then hopefully the new guy that's coming in will be able to show off the Crean's hyper offense. No, just kidding. He has 3 drops in the bye week. Maybe he'll be able to use that in some way to change it up because the Crean's team was just terrible, in my opinion. Too much offense, not enough defense is never the way to go. We're gonna move up to the Team Aqua Conference now. I don't know.
I think.
No, go ahead.
This will obviously drop, whoever takes over the franchise, they'll drop, especially with the forfeit win and giving out a free win. That's something we don't, look kindly upon. But I think, as far as Kraft from the last battle and Cupchew this week, they'll probably go up just because everyone else will be dropping down based off of losses, and whether it was a forfeit or against a bottom team, they still technically won, so you can't drop these other teams below them.
Okay. That worked. But yeah, so now we're, I don't know, Swisher, do you have something to say before we move on to Team Aqua?
There's not really much to say other than just, the fact that it's a forfeit win. It's not going to help you much, but at the same time, it's not going to take you down either.
Alright, now, so first match of the Team Aqua Conference is Agron versus North. I want to talk first in this one, if you guys will let me. As I said last week, in the preview that Swishy, Cupchew, and I made, North is a very close friend of mine, and I don't think Agron is that great of a battler or a team builder. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not trying to hate on the guy or whatever, but I do not think he is as good as he likes to brag that he is. I said that last week he had a pretty much a lucky battle because the guy that he fought had come in the day before, and then I gotta say I am upset at North though. I did help him team build, and one of the main things I told him that was very crucial is that I told him, superpower under Darmanitan, right? That's one of the things I told him, superpower under Darmanitan. And I told him it was specifically for Snorlax. What that means is don't use it on anything else. And what did he do? He used superpower and basically stayed in on a Dragonite using superpower. That made no sense. He went for like 3 or 4 superpowers on Dragonite that weren't going to do anything but hinder him. So I was a little upset about that. There was definitely a lot of other misplays he made. I definitely think he could have taken this easily. But there was just some things that, I don't know. I do have to say the focus mess on the Mega Aggron was somewhat crucial because he definitely, we actually did calcs. I did calcs. Mega Aggron was not living that, especially since I told him to burn Will-O-Wisp to burn the Mega Aggron. He wasn't going to live that focus blast, that turn, essentially, if he had hit. If Focus Blast, if it didn't kill, it would have gotten him down to the point up where the burn would have, and then that would have been just an easy battle from then on. So I definitely think the Focus Blast miss did affect the motion of the battle. I'm also a little upset that he never tried to set up with his Malamar. I do have to say, I did make a mistake. I told him to go for Protect over Rest. I definitely should have not done that. Definitely should have told him to go for Rest instead of Protect in that last move slot. But he had Superpower, Psycho Cut, and Knockoff. Basically the best coverage you can have on a Malamar, especially against Aggron's team, and he was especially defensive. He definitely could have taken this without any issues, and I'm kind of upset that North ended up having to lose the way he did. And I just hope that even though Aggron's definitely gonna move up, not too much though, because Aggron or North is at the very bottom of the table. I do think that maybe Aggron can reach. Was he top 10 last week? I can't remember.
Aggron?
Yeah.
Aggron was top 10.
Okay, so he was 10th place, right? He wasn't like.
Yeah, I think he was 10th actually.
Okay,
yeah,
so he'll probably go up to like 9th or 8th or something like that. And North will obviously definitely go down even further. But honestly, the one thing I will say right now is Aggron, do not get cocky, because you already started bragging in the chat, and that's not gonna help you in the long run. You are facing some very tough opponents in the coming weeks, and they are not gonna let you go easy. So calm it down, bring it back. Egos aside, this is for fun, and I gotta say the way you acted was not the proper way to do it. But that's just PSA. Anyways, Joey, what are your thoughts on this match?
I think this is more of a statement on North. I think 2 weeks of getting close to wins, and then all of a sudden dropping something like this. I think it'll probably do more to North than it will to anyone else. I think Aggron did as best he could, keeping the differential high. That kind of clawed him actually back into the playoff race in the Aqua Conference. So, he'll probably move up more than he normally would, just based off of how this week went. But, it might be, I don't know the equivalent of better news than it actually is, kind of.
Yeah.
That, how far he might move up and everything, and how well his placement is. It might look better than it actually, it might look like better news than it actually will be. But it's not bad news. A 5-0 win is a 5-0 win, and I think North will definitely drop. Just because it wasn't a close loss that he could have maybe done one or two things differently to win. There was a lot of stuff that you had to do differently to pull off this win, and the Focus Blast just gets it to like a 4-0 instead of a 5-0. So
I don't know. Sushi, what about you?
I think sad about the battle, because I was really believing that North can do it, and he made a lot of mistakes that just made me think, why? But I know what he can do, so I know he can be better than what he's showing so far, and I hope he does, like in his next battle or whatever in the future. I just hope he does better, and I know that North is gonna go down for this, because it was almost a 6-0, and for Aggron, he's probably gonna go up for this because it was almost a 6-0, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it wasn't such a spectacular win on his part, to be honest. Like, it's not something like, yeah, you played great or anything. So I don't know if he's going to go up too high for that. And I'm pretty sure North is going to go down pretty badly for this.
Yeah. All right. So, and then we have Frank versus Six Paths. Oh my gosh. Joey, go ahead.
I mean, this was just kind of classic Six Paths, and I think Frank, being new to the league, fell into Six Paths trap of, he kind of lets you get up early, but in order to get that early lead, you give up something that's gonna hinder you in the late game, and that I think he. Even though the Tauros went down, which is something that I know he uses late game, and then Vaporeon went down, you just couldn't break the Heatran. The sub-Heatran was Shukaberry, which was very... it's a different choice. Definitely odd, but effective. Even the Lucario being paralyzed didn't seem to hinder it at all, and then just a defensive Mew that would not go down. So I think Six Pass has firmly cemented his place at the top, and at this point he's going to need a pretty bad loss to climb down from that spot. I think Frank, even though it was a loss and it was a kind of a little bit of a bad loss, he's shown that, this team that he was inherited that wasn't well drafted, he can still kind of make some magic happen with it. So it'll be interesting to see the moves he makes, the trades he makes, and then when he comes back after the bye week, I think he'll be able to climb up higher, but I think maybe he climbs up a spot or two simply based on, how a couple other people did.
I'm gonna Six Path stays at the top. Swishy!
Well, it's Six Path, so there's not much to say on that part. It's just him doing him. Always somehow, well, not even somehow anymore. He just turns the tables whenever he wants. And at the same time, I feel like Frank has a really not good team. I mean, he has some really good Pokemon. Like, he has Chansey and Latias and Ferrothorn. He has some good Pokemon, but it's only like half of his Pokemon is useful, and the other half is just meh. It's not really that useful at all. So I feel like during bye week, he's just gonna, he's gonna take out Pokemon that he doesn't need and could probably get better ones that he could use better, makes him feel comfortable with his team, and hopefully he can actually start picking up some wins after that. But Six Path is just Six Path, so he's probably just gonna either keep winning or somehow someone will pull up some magic and Six Path will actually lose. But I feel like I'm actually not gonna be surprised if Six Path never loses throughout this whole league. I wouldn't be surprised if he just never loses, because he's beating everyone that is at the top. He beat you, he beat Joey, he beat me, he beat everyone. Wait, no, sorry, he didn't beat yet.
Yeah,
but you're going against him after the next week, after the next battle. I think you're going.
I play him
you're battling him
week
after
9.
me.
No, I play him week 9.
Week 9, but he's probably gonna beat you. Let's be real.
No, see, honestly, I will say I am like when we'll talk about my match against Joey next, but like whenever I was talking about the matches, I was like, Joey's the scariest opponent for me to battle, but I am scared of Six Path because I feel like I'm going to be winning the entire match. And all of a sudden he's going to pull some bullshit out of his ass that's just going to destroy me in the last like 5 turns of the match. Because that's how he plays. That's how he plays. Literally, I've been saying this whole time. Six Path is a player that does not care about the beginning. He doesn't care about the middle. He cares about the end. The late game is where he shines. And this battle just helped portray that. Honestly, I'm going to quote Swishy. She said something earlier that I thought it was hilarious, and I definitely like this. I think he's flustered right now because he did not get the 2-0. The fact that he got a 3-0 win is probably killing him on the inside right now because it's way too much.
It'd be funny like if he 6-0 somewhere, he's like, man, I could have gone 2-0. Why didn't I just sack off some Pokemon?
Yeah, because like honestly, Six Path is like he is honestly the best right now. He is not moving from that top spot anytime soon because all his matches are the same. Every single one of the matches are the same. But Frank definitely held his own. Honestly, I kind of feel bad that after the unfortunate loss he had to suffer last week because of how late he had to come in to face Six Paths the week after that is honestly the worst punishment I think anybody could ever have to do. So I definitely felt bad for him. Honestly, when we did the preview, I said that this was just a massive differential, like with all of the other new guys. It's just survived for the bye week, and the fact that he was able to at least I mean, I can't even say. I don't know why Joey even said that. I can't even say, yeah, he did so well in the beginning, because I'm pretty sure that's all Six Path does. That's his game plan. He wants you to feel confident in the beginning of the match. So even though Frank, yeah, he got him down to 3 Pokemon, I think Six Path wanted that anyway. So
I know, like, it's like one of those things where it's like if you 2-0 if Six Path 2-0s, you'd be like, oh, at least it's a 2-0. It's like, no, you don't understand.
that's what he
goes
wants.
for. He wants you to 2-0 him. That's his goal.
So I mean, obviously Frank did play, pretty well with the unfortunate team that he had, that he honestly didn't like, but it was not like, I just gotta say, Six Path was running the show, because he wants the late game. He doesn't care about the beginning, so he's gonna make sure that his late game is good and solid. That Heatran put in so much work. Lucario put in so. Mew shocked us all. I mean, like, that man just would not go down. And that's all he needed. That's literally all he needed. He didn't need Tauros as a match when, like, when he battled Joey, yeah, he needed it because it was a surprise factor with Asai. Like, yeah, bring out that table, let me kill it, and then the Tauros is just gonna run through. I think he knows which Pokemon, like, he brings the team, and then in the team preview, he knows exactly which Pokemon is the one that he needs for late game. Like, that's all he needs. And Heatran was definitely the Mon this week. He had he had Earth Power, he had Dark Pulse, and he had Flamethrower. He had the coverage. He had the right coverage to take care of the rest of the team. So I definitely think that, I mean, it was a Six Path battle. That's what she said about it. It was a Six Path battle. Not much you can say there. Now next up is my match versus Joey. I'm gonna let Sushi take the reins here.
Do I have to talk about this one? Okay. It's surprising to me because I know that you both are around the same when it comes to, like, your level and stuff, like how good you both play. You guys are always, like, neck and neck and everything. Like, even last season, it was only a 1-0. And I was expecting a 1-0 for either one of you. I actually thought Soresan could do it this time. But when I found out today that it was a 5-0 loss, I just, it blows my mind. Because I was not expecting it to be that bad of a loss. I was expecting it to either be a close loss or maybe a close win on either one side. But for it to be a 5-0 loss for Soresan, it's sad. Not even sad, it's just, like, surprising. I can't wrap my head around it that someone who is undefeated and was beaten by someone who's around the equal level as them. It's crazy to me. I mean, you're probably gonna be knocked down for this, like, Soresan, because,
Oh yeah, definitely.
You were number 2, and now you're probably gonna be knocked down to maybe, like, 5 or something. I'm not sure, but Joey's most likely gonna go up because he's 6 right now, and, after a 5-0 win, that's definitely gonna help him out. And I don't know how far knocked down you should be, Soresan, but I wouldn't be surprised if you end up, like, basically swapping places with Joey. Like, you end up 6 and he ends up not. Well, actually, I don't think Joey would be 2, but Joey's definitely gonna be lifted up, and you're probably gonna be 6. That's how I'm seeing it.
I don't know, Joey. Do you want to do next, or am I gonna do it?
I mean, I want to see the battle from your side, just to confirm some theories of how you felt like when the game was going. But I feel like I had a couple of surprise factors that actually did what they were intended to do. And I think that's what threw you off the most, was just what I brought to surprise you. I think the Excadrill set caught you off guard, and I think that affected how you played. And then you lost to Craigilly, and that and Volcarona were supposed to be your answers to Slowbro, and the Slowbro was the answer to your Crocoon, so that kind of lost all your win conditions there, and then it was, trying to contain the differential, and you couldn't, and it's just hard to do that as well at that point. So I want to see it from your end, but I don't think it knocks you down too far, simply because, I'm now set. You're 3rd. You're still in the playoff spot for the Aqua Conference. You lost to the guy who's in 2nd spot. You still have a lot more people to play. that will help decide, where you go, how far up and down you go. But I don't think it'll knock you down to an insane level, because this is only your first loss, and I mean, 4-1 so far, 2-1 in conference, 8 differential positive. I think you still stay pretty high.
Yeah. So like, obviously you guys should have. Since we record these early, obviously this is on Sunday. This goes up on Tuesdays. The match should have gone up on technically yesterday, as you watch this video. I gotta say, I definitely messed up when I let Credibly die. That was definitely like when I went into team building mode. And I noticed, looking at Joey's team, Corona dealt with the top half of his team. Credibly dealt with the bottom. That's literally what I saw. So the substitute did throw me off, to the point where I messed up. I don't know. I have no idea why I switched out Crockxen at any point in that match, considering the fact that he was there for the exit drill. If I switched out, what else did I have? I was gonna bring in Elysian because it took care of the exit drill without any problems. I basically lived every one of his stab, non-stab moves. He couldn't even do 25% to Elysian with any one of those moves, and I could kill him with a Leaf Blade. So I'm upset that I didn't bring that, but at the same time I was so scared of Brox because of Brock Volcarona that I switched him out for Latios with Defog. And I definitely am kind of mad at myself that I didn't, decided against my better judgment, knowing that, Elysian pretty much dealt with Excadrill. And I gotta admit, it did throw me off, and I don't know why I switched out Crockxen. I definitely should have let him in, even if he died, because Volcarona dealt with it. He died to a Fire Blast, no problem. And I definitely messed up with some other moves. It was just not. I will say it wasn't my week. I gotta work on my substitute stuff. I guess this is the second week in a row where a substitute has totally thrown me off my game. Last week it was against North with the Gengar, and this week against Excadrill. I should just start expecting substitute on everything at this point, just so that I don't get frustrated when I see it. Because that's kind of why Joy brought it. He told me earlier that's kind of why he brought it, because he saw that it really messed me up when I see a Pokemon that I wouldn't expect with substitute to have use substitute when they do. So yeah, I do see myself staying in at least the top 5. I do not think I'll go below that because of my score. I'm still high enough to where I can make a case against some of the other players. As for Joey, I do see him at least reaching the top 3 in this week. I don't think second, because Zach has been doing so well, and the caliber of opponents that he's been facing. I definitely think that he should at least be second. So I definitely see Joey at like 3rd. But yeah, so last match is Swishy versus Blue. I am so proud of Swishy for this one. I really am. Like, you guys have no idea how crazy we went when we were team building. Like, I was with her when she was doing it. Like, we were just analyzing everything. I do think that Blue made a mistake, and I'm gonna call him out for it, because you do not mess around with Landorus. That is not a Pokemon you take for granted. Okay, that is a monster that hits like a fucking truck and can take a hit when it needs to. You do not, I repeat, you do not mess with this thing. And what did Bloom do? He went for a speed tie on his Delphox. That is not, no, you go for sure, you're gonna outspeed this thing. Because what happened was, he had a Scarf Delphox, Swishy had a Scarf Lando. he lost the speed tie and got hit with a Stone Edge and died. So honestly, I do not think he should have even taken the chance of losing a speed tie. I think he should have just gone for the full-on I'm gonna outspeed you without any problems. That was his first mistake. Second mistake was not caring about Weezing. That thing is I used it last season. That thing took, oh my goodness, that thing did so great. Did so many amazing things. And I definitely think that the fact that he basically had in the back of his mind how kind of hindered him, because the thing that put in most work in this battle was the Weezing. It took care of 3 Mons. Well, 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. So it's like, honestly, I do not think that he should have, slept on the Weezing. I also think that the set that we made for Bronzong was hilarious. She had heal block for Mega Venusaur. It was the funniest thing ever. Giga Drain doesn't work. Leech Seed doesn't work. Synthesis doesn't work.
Sludge Bomb doesn't work.
Well, yeah, Sludge Bomb is is immune, so it pretty much gets walled. So, I think the funniest part about this whole thing is that Swishy Mega Lopunny didn't do anything this week. It just sat in the back, scaring you with her sexy outfit. Like, it didn't. It literally did. It used Fake Out and Substitute. That's it. That's all it did, and then it just switched out, and then never came back in the match because they didn't need to. It was just there for scary presence. So I definitely gotta congratulate Swishy on this win. It definitely helps me out in the long run because of the loss. Because Bloom lost and I lost, I'm still above him because he's at 3-2 and then I'm a 4-1. So I maintain my playoff standing while Bloom is right now he's gonna have to fight for his spot. And I gotta say he's gonna go down. Swishy was below. What you were like 12th, right?
I was 11.
11. Bloom was 5th. That's a pretty big. That's 6 spots. In a match
Actually,
that
Bloom
should.
is 4th. Yeah, Bloom is 4th.
Bloom was 4th. Okay, that's even worse. It's 7 spots of difference between the rankings. So I definitely think Bloom is definitely he's gonna take a hard hit from this one. He's definitely gonna take a hard hit. I do see him potentially staying in the top 10, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 11th this week. As for Swishy, if she doesn't make it the top 10 after this, I don't know what to tell him. Because that was like she was literally in control of that battle. She was. There was no answer. Gudra took care of the Jellicent, and then Landorus took care of Delphox. Togekiss, and then Mawa got the Stealth Rocks, and then Weezing just took care of the Mega Venusaur, and I don't even remember what the last mon was. Shit. Whatever his last mon was, I can't remember right now. I don't know, Joey. What are your thoughts on this match?
I think he got thrown off by 2 things. One was the Landorus. I don't think he went for the speed tie. I think he assumed he would outspeed simply because the Landorus had only shown Stealth Rock beforehand, so it might have shown that it might have been a defensive form of Landorus T, and then the speed tie happens and then he loses. So I think maybe he doesn't risk that if he knows Landorus is scarfed. I think maybe he goes into something else because, even though the Landorus hit 3 Stone Edges and he got a low roll on the Togekiss, with the Togekiss still alive, I don't see how he brings down that Weezing. I think it just, the battle maybe goes on for maybe another 8 or 9 turns, and then the Weezing wins. But, either way, I think it was just the Landorus T was the shock there, and the Conkeldurr didn't didn't get its guts boost, which was it was actually well played by Swishy. So I think with the guts boost that Conkeldurr does actually manage to take down the Weezing. So, I mean, well played on both sides. I think Bloom probably drops to 6th or 7th. It'll be interesting to see what Monsey moves around in the bye week, who he trades for, who he drops, who he picks up. I think Swishy definitely cracks in as well. I don't think this eliminates Bloom from anywhere near from the top spots right now, because I know he still has to play You, he still has to play Six Paths, he still has to play Aggron, and those are all competitors for the playoff spots right now. Those are all his competitors for the playoff spots, and he can still rely on other matches. You know, he still has to rely, because you have to beat Swishy in order to move in, so he can still rely on help, and it's not like looking for a hope or looking for a prayer with his help to get into the playoff spot. It's, you know, these people have to win, so it can be assumed that the help will be there. So I don't think he has to throw his season out. I don't think there's any problem with that. I just think, you know, maybe not relying on the Showdown Simulator that Gil built to give him any favors. I think he has to next time just EV and make sure he outspeeds stuff.
Yeah, but you know, that's kind of why because I said I was helping switch the team build. I literally told her Scarfed Stealth Rocks. It definitely it does put in work, because then people were like, oh, it's, you know, Stealth Rocks, that's definitely defensive. I did that on purpose when I told her to do that. So like, but still, like, regardless of that, I do think the fact that he said that he ran enough speed to speed tie a Scarf Landorus, when he said that, that's when I knew he was. I don't think he took it as seriously as he should have. I definitely think that if he had, you know, really thought, oh, I do need to take care of this problem, he should have definitely gone for the, you know, the full-on speed investment. Because after that, he definitely outspeeds Mega Lopunny, which is also another problem. I do not think that if he tries to speed tie a Scarf Landorus, I do not think he has enough speed to outspeed Mega Lopunny. If I remember correctly. I don't think he would. He would? He would.
Yeah, Landorus, Scarf, it's a 309 plus the Scarf. So if he outsped that with the Scarf, it would outspeed the Lopunny.
No, but I'm talking about because he tried to go for the speed tie.
Mm-hmm.
What a speed tie against Landorus outspeed the Lopunny?
Let me check.
I don't think so.
I think it does. I'll check and see what Mega Lopunny hits.
Like 450 something.
Mega Lopunny hits 405, and if you speed tie with Landorus T with the Scarf, you will outspeed Mega Lopunny.
Okay.
Yeah.
463.
I still think he shouldn't have done that.
I just don't think. I think after he saw the Stealth Rocks, he assumed it wasn't a Scarf.
I know. But the fact that when he went in the chat later and said he ran up speed to speed tie with a Scarf Lando.
Yeah, I think I know he did it for my game as well. He kind of, he knows what the threats are, and he kind of analyzes them a little bit and then adjusts his playstyle accordingly. Like, he said that when he found out that my Excadrill was Mold Breaker instead of Sand Rush, then he felt more confident bringing in his Tyranitar. And so maybe when he saw the Stealth Rocks on the Landorus T, he assumed, okay, it's defensive, I can play around it this way. So I think that was the part that the Stealth Rocks Scarf Landorus threw him off the most.
You're welcome, Swishy.
Thank you.
All right, now what do you think, Swishy? This is your match. Obviously, I want to hear your thoughts.
Um, this was actually the only match that I actually felt confident in, because most of the matches I've went against, like, like especially like Six Paths, for example, I went in like that battle not expecting a win, and in fact the goal was just to make sure it was mostly for differential. That's what I was thinking. But for Bloom, I actually had confidence because, you were team building with me, and then the more I analyzed how my Pokemon go against his Pokemon, the more I realized how much of an advantage I had team-wise. But I was still very nervous because I know how good of a battler Bloom is, and to me, I personally see it as a way, it's like the team itself doesn't matter as much as the battle does, because you can have a great team, but if you don't know what to do with it, then that's it. You're gonna lose.
Team building master. Battling is his weakness.
But so with this battle with Bloom, I was scared. I was very nervous, but I had confidence. I was like, I can do this. I just gotta focus. I can't just keep half-assing like the rest of these battles I usually do. So I gotta actually pay attention to what I'm gonna do. And honestly, this was, besides the speed tie, this was one of the biggest problems. He didn't bring the biggest threat to me, which was Zygarde. Because not even Weezing could really wall that thing. And the only way it can is if it was situational. Like if Weezing was already out and had full health, and then the Zygarde came in. But if it was Zygarde came out first and I switched to Weezing, I'm already screwed. So, and even Quagsire couldn't wall it, even if it was like, set up and unaware and everything. Because even at like with no setup at all, it did more than half damage. So I was really worried about that Zygarde. I had something to deal with it, but it was only more of a situational kind of thing. So I had nothing that would for sure take it, which really worried me. So honestly, when when I found out that he didn't have the Zygarde, I immediately thought, I can do this. I can definitely do this. So I feel like other than the speed tie, that was probably the biggest mistake on Bloom's part. And I am honestly very happy that I won this battle. And hopefully I can pick up more wins as I go along. I don't know if I should be boosted that much for this because of how the other battles went. But I definitely hope I'm going to be, top 10 at least. Hopefully next time, if Bloom goes against someone and if something that he's worried about outspeeding, instead of going for a speed tie, he should make sure that Pokemon is faster. Because that speed tie really was too much of a risk to rely on. And the fact that he relied on it, and then I still outsped because I won the tie, was kind of the downfall with that. And that was the only thing he had against my Weezing. The rest of my Weezing pretty much took care of everything. So that's the thing. I feel like that was probably one of Bloom's biggest mistakes. Other than that, it was a good battle, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I feel like it was a pretty fair battle.
Yeah, even if they try to talk about hacks, that never happened. Anyways, I'm not here to try to talk crap about anybody. I'm just saying that I saw that battle. There was no hacks there. No game-changing hacks, at least, from what I've noticed. So definitely, I think you just got outplayed, Bloom. I think that's what it was. But still, I think this week was quite a shocker. There was a lot of big surprises that happened this week. I do think that both matches of the weeks that at least I expected were both pretty good. I said Jay versus Zach was match of the week in the Team Magma conference. I said that Swishy versus Bloom was the match of the week because of the potential upset. And look at that. Both of those matches, fantastic. I don't know. I thought this week was just a crazy week. I don't know. Any final thoughts from you guys?
I will say I feel like this season in the league, this is like the season of surprises and unpredictability. Because I've noticed that every week, at least one person will bring in something that's just completely unexpected, and that helps them a lot. Like the Specs Entei, what Joey did with Zexcadrill, the Substitute Life Orb, all these different things that people are coming in with unpredictability, and I think that's making this very interesting.
Oh, it's certainly not helping out with my power rankings, making it easy for that.
I mean, I told you this week was insane. There was just way too much that happened. A lot of upsets. Actually, a lot of upsets. You had Dork versus Zen was a huge upset.
That was.
Obviously, our match kind of an upset because it was another undefeated streak gone. And then obviously Swishy versus Bloom, another upset right there. And
yeah, I think the Swishy versus Bloom was one. I don't think ours was an upset. I think it was a close game that could go either way. I just think the scoreline was a little shocking.
I'm talking about the fact that it was another. There's only one undefeated streak now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the match, if it had gone 1-0 or 2-0, either way, it wouldn't have really been an upset. But the fact that it was a 5-0 was just the shocking part.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Crazy. Joey, I do not envy your job. Just gonna throw that out there right now. I do not envy you right now. You have to write a lot. I mean, a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. As always, I will leave Agron's channel link in the description so you guys can watch his
the post power ranking analysis.
That's the one. So hopefully you guys can check it out and then go support that. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I want to thank again my guests here, Joey.
Yo.
And Swishy.
SoresanCrockxen.
Stop! Anyways, I've been SoresanCrockxen. We'll see you guys in future videos.